In eternal words, etched to the mind, let no voice be wasted. Let no mind be silent. Last night, the debate arena trembled with truth, wit, and war. Abisola rose above Favor's fire.
We can, a fan from Nigeria can always follow through with his club in Europe in real time, follow through update on social media. They can always get to know the routine, the behind the scene, before matches, pre-match conference, post-match conference. These are all possible because of social media.
Favor, not to be undone, fought back.
Here are the stats. First off, 70 racially abusive tweets in just 1 minute for Marcus Rashford. 120 negative comments on social media in 24 hours for the same player. How does this one for player focus? Now you look me in the face and tell me social media is good for player focus?
Then they dueled.
Always say that the abuse. There are a lot of positive.
The stats are there.
There are a lot of positive.
The stats are there. Abuses are not positive. Harassments are not positive.
Whether social media or not, the abuses are there. And this same social media, because I have helped us to even make this stats. Social media has also helped us to make this stats. How can we even categorize them before the rise of social media? Whatever you have to say is to always be on the abuse. The other, what would use this same platform to help the children?
The woman outmuscled the man. Then came Charles and Jeff in a cerebral slugfest.
You could see teams like Real Madrid and Man City almost being knocked out of the Champions League. They had to struggle until the very last set of match days to qualify, and they even had to qualify via the playoffs, something that would not have happened naturally if they had gone through the group phase.
Charles laid down the gauntlet and Jeff took it.
The likes of Cavajar, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, they've all come out to complain about the fatigue. Adding more matches, is that what you call improvement? How is it supposed to be competitive when the key actors themselves are not fit to compete? How is the quality supposed to be upgraded?
And then they battled.
23 players. You cannot be complaining about fatigue when you have about 12 players who are always rotting on the bench because you always want to play the same 11. It makes no sense to me.
Right.
You want to say something?
All right. Okay. Gone are the days where all of us used to look forward to the Champions League draw. Did you know the anticipation? We look forward to group of death. We look forward to that group that had Newcastle, PSG, Dortmund, AC Milan. We all anticipate. That is competitiveness.
It was a battle of two teachers. The musical instructor, Charles, edging Jeff on the night. And then came John. He danced with Victor in a duel of titans.
Before VAR came, game-changing mistakes, offside goals, penalties, wrongful red cards often went uncorrected, costing teams titles, decision-making, costing team titles, careers and dreams. Decision-making accuracy when VAR came went from 93% to an impressive 98% according to FIFA in critical moments.
Then Victor clapped back.
They don't compensate for the confusion, the inconsistency, and the significant interruption that we currently see in today's football. In many cases, even with the video review, these decisions still remain controversial. So what is the point of disrupting this game that we all love for the outcome that are still debated post-match?
And into the fire, both men dive deep. Go ahead.
Overdue. Still came out and said that he made a mistake. If VAR was in place by that 2009, it was very, very clear that there will be Chelsea would have progressed.
If you want to take it personal, right? You want to take it personal, right? Now, do you know that in the just concluded season, Arsenal lost 14 points to VAR error decisions. Do you know that? Since you're taking it personal, let's go there.
Yes.
We asked for a battle. We got a full-blown war. In the end, John won. But this is Fan Battle 4, where loss is not always the end. One of the vanquished, Favor, Jeff, or Victor, could yet be summoned back to the light by the people's vote. They wait in hope. Tonight, before the night is done, they'll know their fate. And we return now to the very crucible that forged them. Tonight, day 10, the final night of round of 24 battles. And the stakes, they've never been higher. MIChex, a master of the unexpected. Ben, calm, calculated, dangerous. Only one walks into the round of 16. Later, Peter, the tactician with thunder in his tone. Ghana, the quiet warrior with sharp edges. Only one returns to fight another day. And then, to cap the night, Vivian versus Slim. 2 minds, 2 styles. One last chance to make destiny bow. 3 will fall. But as always, the crowd decides who among the fallen deserves redemption. This is more than a contest, people. It is conviction in motion, expression unshackled. It is a war of words, yes, but it is also a dance of dreams and a festival of fire. So sit up, lean in, let your hearts listen, and may the best voices rise tonight. Welcome, Lagos. Welcome, Nigeria. Welcome, the world, to day 10 of Fan Battle 4. So let the final battles of the round of 24 begin. And so we say, welcome yet again to a night of battle. I'd like to start by introducing the panel. I'm ably supported by team lead of Femi and the Gang, Chuma Nolly. How are you doing, Chuma?
I'm doing great, Femi. Great to be back here. I wasn't here on Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's fun to be alongside these very intelligent minds as they get ready to show us their brilliance on the microphone, and I'm ready to have fun alongside themselves, even while judging them too.
Queen Lizzie joins the judging panel for the night. Hello, Queen.
Hello, Femi. It's great to be here, and I can't wait for the battle to begin.
Neither can I. Completing the trio is Olisa Shukuma, who is a little bit encumbered. He will be assisted by Mikolo in the opening rounds, and then he will take over from there. You've met the judges on the night. Time now to meet the contestants. I'd like to start from the blue corner. So in the red corner, partling out of Berger, Lagos, a Liverpool fan, electrician. They call him MIChex on Facebook. On X is Mike Igwe, as in MICH Igwe 1. On Instagram, he is at MI_Chinex. On TikTok, he is at Mike Live or Mike Live 9. MICHLIV 9. His full name, Miracle Chinedu Igwe. Make welcome to MIChex, everyone. Welcome, Rob. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Femi, and good evening, Lagos.
Yeah. Somebody raised you up and slammed you on the ground in your last battle.
With that, let me give a big shout out to everyone that voted for me in the last round.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Yes. Well, you were brilliant. Just not good enough on the day. Vivian showed you pepper.
All right. This time.
Let's see what you do with your opponent tonight.
All right.
In the red corner, he's a teacher. He supports Real Madrid globally and Ikorodu FC locally. They call him Ben Prolific Odes on Facebook. On Instagram, he is at Ben for Success. On X, he is at Ben for Success just the same. Ben Prolific joins us now. Welcome, Benjamin Daisy. How are you doing?
Thank you, sir. I'm fine. I'm doing so fine.
Did I ever ask you where Odes came from?
It's an abbreviation of my middle name, so...
Okay. Odeshino. Okay. Let me spare you. Let me spare you. All right. Well, Ben is battling out of Maryland. MIChex out of Liverpool. Ben, remind Lagos how your last battle went.
I talked about the revamped 32 Champions League phase and
you prevailed.
And I prevailed. That was my last battle against Peter.
All right. So you won round 1. Now round 2. Are you looking to win again?
Hopefully
All right. So, who will it be? MIChex chasing his first victory, or Ben hunting for deja vu? We'll find out soon enough. But let's start by going through the opening round. You know the rules?
Yes.
We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Nigeria Info on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. This program is sponsored by you, the audience. I'll tell you more about how you can participate. Let's go into the first battle. 2 minutes. MIChex, let's go. The topic is the FIFA Women's World Cup should have the same number of teams as the men's, regardless of global competitiveness. 2 minutes. Let's do this. Are you ready now? We had some technical delay.
I am.
So let's do this.
When did we decide that fairness in football should depend on how good you already are? Between 1921 to 1971, the women football national team was banned from playing their matches on FA pitches just because the organizers then felt that the fiscal demands required on the sport is too much on women, and that's partly the reason. Mainly because they felt that if they give same relevance to female football, that male football will lose some of its relevance. And here we are in 2025 still arguing if we should give women same representation. That's not logic, that's legacy. In fact, whenever that question comes up, there's one word that pops up in my mind, and that word is misogyny. I am MIChex. I am supporting a motion that states that women should be given same representation as men in FIFA competition, and I will be supporting my claim with the following points. One is FIFA philosophy. The FIFA philosophy states that football is for all. Did you hear that? All. That means regardless of your nationality, your gender, your race, you are inclusive of the beautiful game. So why do we still ask the question if women should be given same representation in the competition? In fact, arguing that women should not be given same representation is going against the very philosophy that FIFA stands upon. Then my second point is institutional equity. There is a great need for FIFA to correct historical imbalances. For decades, the women's football has been underfunded and marginalized, and giving them same representation as the men is the first step to reparative justice. How do you expect a young girl from Uganda or Vietnam to grow up with a mindset that her dream is less valid just because her nation is not a football power as yet? Then thirdly, there's competitive imbalances in men's football too. In Korea, Japan 2002, Saudi Arabia lost 8-0 to Germany. In 2013 Confederations Cup, Tahiti lost 6-1 to Nigeria, 10-0 to Spain, 8-0 to Uruguay. Nobody asked these questions. Why nobody asked if they should be banned from the competition because they were not good enough, but they were giving that support. So if men should get this support in football, why not women?
Thank you very much. He's landed smartly to MIChex from Berger. Thank you. That was good. All right. The FIFA Women's World Cup should have the same number of teams as the men's, regardless of global competitiveness. MIChex is supporting that motion. He's saying yes, they should. Ben, on the other hand, is saying no, they shouldn't. He'll have 2 minutes to tell us why. Ben, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Now, let's look at the last winners of the Men's World Cup and the Women's World Cup. In 2022, Argentina won the Men's World Cup and they pocketed $42 million for winning that tournament. In 2023, Spain won the Women's World Cup and they pocketed $10.5 million. Can you see the disparity? A whooping $31.5 million. And then you are saying more teams should be added to the Women's World Cup so that we should have equal teams in the Men's World Cup and in the Women's World Cup. When at the same level, in terms of revenue and viewership, there is always a disparity. Now let me go down with by further points. One, competitive depth is not there. When you watch the women's football, you always see outrageous score lines. You see USA trashing Thailand 13-0. Is that what you want to watch? You see games like Germany beating Argentina 11-0. You keep seeing these high margins in international tournament, and you keep saying they should encourage them to play. Number two is what? Global support and funding. How many confederations, how many nations support their women team? None. Even in Nigeria, sometimes we forget our female team when they go to play and forget to bring them back. Is that what you want to keep doing at the World Cup? Number three, we have dilution of prestige. When you bring in more teams too early, what happens? Some of the teams just go there to show up, and at the end of the day, they got walloped. That is why we always see that high margins of scoring. Number four, audience and sponsorship is very poor. How many times have you seen Women's World Cup that the stadium is filled? You always see that the stadium is scanty, and then you say, what kind of World Cup is this? Stadium is scanty. You see USA playing Japan, and then you see that there is no audience, and then you keep saying more teams should come and do what?
Okay. First round battle already done. Well done, Ben. The FIFA Women's World Cup should have the same number of teams as the men's, regardless of global competitiveness. We will take a break in a bit, and when we come back, we'll go straight into the banter battle round.
Energy ranging from inverters, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, solar water heating systems, solar street lights, etc. You can visit our office at the Seco Mall, 5th roundabout, Lekki Expressway.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as ValueCard, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments. Unifying businesses for people.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Double the joy! It's Nexus time! Buy one, get one free! It's that Eid double celebration!
This Eid, Nexus is giving you double celebration!
Buy a 65 or 75 inches Nexus TV, get another TV free! With so many other delightful offers, Nexus Double Delight is yours! Rush to Nexus, don't delay! Visit Nexus showroom at 39 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Jeffrey Plaza, Abraham Adesoya Bus Stop, Aja, 17 Aba Road, Port Harcourt.
Offer ends June 30th while stock lasts.
Nexus, living with style.
If person ask you, say, wetin be the game where they totori you pass, you go tell them, say na better know all the time. Don't go dull yourself, make you follow join for the ogbonge betting options, fast cash out, missions wey dey engaging, and get welcome bonus wey fit reach 200,000 naira. Better know, the game don't start. Make you dey bet responsibly. Now only for people wey don pass 18 years. Better know na proud partner of Aston Villa.
You're spending big on fuel and fixing bikes all the time? Switch to Spiro. Spiro electric bikes do not use fuel, need low maintenance, and when your battery runs out, just swap in 2 minutes at any of our swap stations and ride on. These bikes, strong like rock, they are tough, durable, and can carry heavy loads without stress. Perfect for logistics, Okada, or daily waka. Spiro. Smart, strong, stress-free. No fuel, no wahala. Just ride. Call 0700 009 7797 to get started.
It's the greatest for me. Hunger makes your cooking fun. Happiness, we go fill your belly. Enjoy the taste and aroma daily.
Hunger for great taste and aroma.
Now so I did on my own. Now a message enter my phone. Fiam. I can't click am. Fiam. Now so my money for account go. Fiam. Hey. If to say na Airtel you dey use, them for first alert you before you click am. Airtel they identify spammers, then alert them customers with AI powered service to make sure say you no fall mugu for wuruwuru scam messages. No charges, no subscription needed. Me self they go join Airtel. Fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. It go rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easily observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
I don't know, man. These days, all you hear is save, invest, save, invest. Wait, how do you guys find this money? Is it not someone that is settled that will have money to save and invest? And even if I manage to invest or save, the interest rates are so low. And one can lose money in all these crypto, NFT, blockchain, and so on.
Introducing Fund 724. It's a simple solution to all your money goals. With as low as 1,000 naira or that urgent 2K in your pocket, you can start saving with Fund 724 and earn solid returns on your investment. And you can withdraw your money from your account for free. Anytime you like, just dial *724# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts.
Oh, so no need to download an app or join a long queue, huh?
Dial *724# now to get started. Fund 724 is available 24/7. Guarantee Trust Fund Managers is a subsidiary of Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
Let me tell you about Ada, the queen of a big on hotspot for me. At home,
I beg on I'm small.
at work,
You feel share your hotspots. It's urgent.
her friends even renamed her on hotspot for me. But Ada don't upgrade. She got the Airtel MiFi for just 12,500 naira, down from 15,000 naira, with 30 gigabyte data valid for 30 days. Hurry, offer ends 30th June. Visit eshop.airtel.com.ng or any Airtel shop. T&C apply. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
What is truly living the soft life? Like using Monica Cash to transform your finances. Shopping cart cleared, electricity bill paid, betting wallet funded, crypto exchanged in minutes. Soft life is living with ease, paying for your bills without stress. At Monica Cash, we convert your crypto to naira and prepare your withdrawal to cash in minutes. We charge airtime, pay bills, fund betting apps, and buy gift cards all in one smooth app. And yes, your very own virtual USD card. It's in there too. It's smart, sleek, it's stress-free. So, if soft life is what you want, get on Monica Cash today. Download now on Apple Store or Google Play Store or visit our website, monica.cash, to get started.
It is an incontrovertible fact that the future of power is solar. It is becoming increasingly clear that solar is the way to go if reliable, clean, and uninterrupted power is our goal. Our homes need power, our offices need power, our public buildings need power, our lives and activities need power, and of course, I mean reliable power. Now, at the Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we have cut our teeth as professionals in the business of solar and renewable energy, ranging from inverters, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, solar water heating systems, solar street lights, etc. You can visit our office at the Seco Mall, 5th Roundabout, Lekki Epe Expressway, Jakonde, Lagos, or our website on www.solarworldelectric.com, or you can call us on 0906 331 5492. Solar World Electric Technology Limited. We are redefining the limits.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's game on.
Hi everyone, Martin Tyler here, English Premier League commentator, UEFA Champions League commentator, and assistant manager of Woking Football Club. You're listening to Femi and the Gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM.
Welcome back. You've met MIChex, the master of the unexpected. You've met Ben, the calm, calculated, and dangerous man. Like I told you earlier on, only one of these two walks into the round of 16 automatically. The other will have to wait their fate on the shoulders of the voting public. You heard round one. The FIFA Women's World Cup. Should it have the same number of teams as the men's, regardless of global competitiveness? MIChex says yes, it should. Is the electrician electrifying things? Ben, on the other hand, says no, it shouldn't. The teacher looking to school MIChex. Who will it be? We'll find out soon. First, we throw them into the lion's den that the banter battle has become. And so for the next 5 minutes, the two of them will go head to head. Are you ready? 5 minutes, MIChex, Ben, let's go.
So I will start with this analogy. You are the MD of Nigeria Info, and then you came and tell everybody that we want to have the branch of Nigeria Info in every state of the nation. We want to expand. We want to be the leading voice in journalism and radio and media. You said every good thing, and then, but you didn't talk about the depth of what you want to do. That is the recruitment, the quality of radio station you want to put in those places. That is what the FIFA Women's World Cup is. There's no depth.
Let me ask you a question. You are talking about depth. How do they get depth if they are not given the opportunity to shine?
Is it at the worst stage that they are given opportunity to shine?
Yes.
Look at the foundations. Look at the academy. How many football clubs has women team?
Let me ask you
How many football clubs has women team?
I want to ask you a question. Let's assume you are growing a garden. Do you grow a garden by watering only the tallest ones? You don't do that.
But that is what the FIFA World Cup is. You are watching only the tallest one. You are not watching from the foundation.
Allowing all of them to compete is watering all of them, because you give them the chance.
How do they get to the World Cup?
You give them the chance to play, lose, and learn and come back.
Okay, how do they get to the World Cup?
Let me give you an example. The US team, the Nigerian team, the South African team, they were not powerhouses originally. It was when they were given opportunity to play. That's when they started delivering. So you cannot.
So how far is the Nigerian team, the Falcons? How is their performance at the World Cup?
The people making Nigeria proud right now is the female team, not the men team. When was the last time the men team won a competition?
So how far has the female team gone in the World Cup? You all know
that the Nigerian team is the best team in Africa, and South Africa recently is competing
let me
with them
take you on that.
Because
Nigerian team, they stroll to qualifiers. Nigerian team don't play qualifiers. We just come to camp and then we qualify. We just win our matches. Is that qualifier?
And I will still tell you that the reason is because
how do other teams qualify when we don't give them chance?
Given the opportunity to grow. When you give them the opportunity to grow, they will grow.
So at the World Cup, that is where they will grow.
If we should go by
at the World Cup, that is where they will grow.
Yes, if we should go by.
So you don't play qualifiers. You go to the World Cup, then you grow there.
If we should go by your logic,
we don't play qualifiers.
There are great players like Craig Bellamy.
There
are great players like Ryan Giggs, Varashilia. If we should go by your logic, they wouldn't have opportunity to play international football
by not playing qualifiers.
Yes, because when they were,
you don't know where our players come to camp. Do you know where our players come to camp? Our players come to camp 2 days to match, and because they know that they will qualify, what do? They will just come, stroll, and we win.
Exactly,
we beat South Africa, we beat Morocco.
Competitiveness is not there yet.
So how do the competitiveness come in?
If you give them the opportunity to play, that's the only
way. At the World Cup,
yes.
You give them opportunity to play. It's just like you said a student is not good. And then you're saying you want to take the student to international competition. How does the student perform when he knows that where he's coming from, there's no competition there?
I just gave you an example earlier. Even in the men game, all these things exist. Let's take for instance San Marino. 12 years ago, San Marino were losing 12-0, 10-0 in their qualifying competitions. But if you check recently, even Moldova, Italy were only able to beat them 2-0. Bosnia only won San Marino 1-0. Why?
Yes.
Because they are now putting interest in football.
Now, how many of those federations are doing what San Marino is doing?
That's what I'm just trying to
FIFA has to go to the grassroots and ensure that these people, they are doing the right thing. That is not what FIFA is doing.
The only reason why
FIFA has not told us that they are going to the grassroots. They did not tell us that.
No, the only reason why female football is not growing is because they are underfunded and marginalized. You are not giving them the opportunity to grow.
Is the funding in the World Cup? They increase the number of teams. Are they increasing the funding? They did not tell us that.
When you increase the number, you are encouraging more teams to invest into.
What about the funding?
I'm just telling you, the funding will not come from FIFA.
So we should just give them money. We should not allow them to come to the World Cup. Just give them money.
No, the funding will not
let them come to the World Cup, and then they are wild up. Then you tell them you are funding them. You are not funding them.
The funding is not coming from FIFA.
If you tell me you only fund me when I go to the World Cup, I will do anything to go to the World Cup.
The funding is not coming from FIFA. The funding is coming from the federation. So the only way the federation will develop interest in those teams is if they are given the opportunity to participate.
Now let me ask you: the Premier League that we talk about, the EPL men's team, has how many teams? 20. How many does the WSL have?
WSL has, I think, 16.
No, they don't have 16. They only have 12. Now, and they are not increasing the number of teams in the WSL. They play only 22 matches.
You are still proving my point.
Well, they don't increase. Now, the women, because of fatigue and the rest, the women don't play midweek games. The men play midweek games. Do you know that? When you take it to the World Cup, it means the women have to play every 33 days. That is enough stress, enough fatigue for the women already.
We all know that this is 2025. You do not.
So why did they increase the number of teams in the Premier League? Why did they not tell the women to get more teams into the Premier League?
You don't determine ability with physical strength. Yes, we know that the women does not have physical strength like the men, but intellect is what you should use to judge. And
so in those leagues, even in the Nigeria league for the women.
Always land. Okay. Time up. Thank you very much. It was a spirited banter battle with a lot of interesting touch points. I wonder what's going on in the minds of the judges. But the deed is not done yet. MIChex.
Sir.
Ben, one last duty to do. For 2 minutes, each of you will close your arguments. The FIFA Women's World Cup, should it have the same number of teams as the men's, regardless of global competitiveness? MIChex says yes. Ben says no. And they're trying to give us reasons why. Pay attention, people, because it all comes down to this. 2 minutes. First to you, MIChex. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we've had a lot about competitiveness, but let's be honest, when as if are always being about the best team, it has never been about the best team. If not, San Marino, Moldova, Liechtenstein, they will not be playing in the qualifiers, and also Qatar and South Africa will not be allowed to host the World Cup. Football is about inclusivity. The real issue here isn't competitiveness, it's access, it's opportunity, it's whether we believe the global women's football game deserves the same chance to grow, develop, and thrive. And the only way to make that happen is to offer them the same seats at the table. Competitiveness does not fall from the sky. It comes from exposure, experience, and investment. And history has already shown us that if given the opportunity for them to play, they will improve. So let me ask my colleague this question. Are we measuring greatness by who wins today or by who is allowed to compete tomorrow? Giving women football the same number of contestants as the men is not charity. It's not favoritism. Instead, it is justice for decades of marginalization and underfunding and silence. It sends a message to every federation, every sponsor, and every young girl that your dream is just as valid. The men football, they want fairness in football. So does the women want fairness. And are you telling me that fairness will come from equal outcomes? It's not from equal outcomes. It's from equal opportunity. Let's make this dream truly global, because it's a beautiful game for everybody, for the rest, and not just for the best, because when you give them opportunity to shine, that's the only way they can shine. Thank you.
Thank you, he says, and it is very much appreciated. MIChex rests his case. He says the FIFA Women's World Cup should have the same number of teams as the men, regardless of global competitiveness. And now it's the turn of his opponent, Ben, to finish. He goes the other way. And for 2 minutes, one last time, he'll tell us why. Ben, your time starts right now.
Thank you. So I will start with the 8 challenges faced by female in sports. The first one is menstrual cycle and cramps, which is one serious challenge faced by women. Number 2, relative edge deficiency. They don't have the same energy level as men. So we can't allow them to be playing games every 3 days like the men do play. The WSL goes on break. The EPL don't go on break. So we should take that into note. And then in a whole season of 8 months, the EPL, that's the men, they play 38 games. The women only play 22. So you can see the difference in the number of games they play. And then you want to bring them to a World Cup where they'll be playing every 3 days or every 4 days. It's not done. Number 4 is we have high risk of ACL injury. When women suffer ACL injuries because of their body weight, and it takes a lot of time for them to heal. We don't want to suppress them or make them go through that tunnel. Then then we also have breast discomfort, injury, pregnancy, and all that. Those are challenges women face. Also, we look at another reason is logistical constraint. The time it will take for these women to get from one venue to another, logistics, fatigue, and all that, and then we take them to go and play a World Cup that will take a whole month, and they will play 7 or 8 games or 10 games. It's not done. Then physical and mental fatigue. So those are, even in the NBA, we have teams. The women only play 44 games in the regular season. The men play 82 games. We could see the difference. So we cannot always suppress them to that, all in the name of saying we want to give them equal right and all that. So we have to ensure that if we must do things, we must do it right. Develop football, the women football from the grassroots, fund it properly, ensure that the male clubs also have female clubs. Now you have 20 teams in the male and then you have 12 in the female, and then you didn't start from there. There is no
Oga Ben, always land. Always land. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Don't hang mid-sentence, okay? Once the bell goes, land. All right. So this first of 3 battles tonight has just ended. MIChex up against Ben. The FIFA Women's World Cup, having the same number of teams as the men's. The issue of contention. MIChex told us why. But Ben told us why not. Global competitiveness and all of that. The judges will make of it what they may. And soon, I'll have all the results. Thank you. Meanwhile, we have about 6 minutes before our next break, and also to read the result. I'd like to hear from the judges what they think. Who wants to go first?
I think I'll just jump on it straight away, guys.
Okay.
Well done, spirited debates, pardon me, and quite passionate from both of you. Also, it was nice that you allowed yourself to speak and be heard during the course of the banter round. I thought the intro and outro for both parties were great. What I thought could have been better from you guys is a bit more stats. I think many of the arguments were just basic logical arguments that did not have backing that would have given you a stronger point. Stuff like, beyond the argument of 10-0, which was great, and then saying, hey, things have happened like that too in the men's game, Tahiti and the likes. I would have loved to hear stuff like football is about entertainment, right? And the quality of the football, if it's expanded, will be so bad that people will not want to watch it on television. That could have been an argument, for example, to say, hey, the more you bring less quality sites, the more the quality drops as to the football itself, and the less number of people you have that want to watch it, which will trickle down to the same challenge with revenue via TV and all of that. But all around, you guys give us a good show, and well done.
Thank you very much.
Like the smile on Lizzie's face.
Yeah, Shuma. Since she's smiling, we might as well hear from her. What is the point of humor? Why did they laugh?
Because I'll cry if I don't laugh.
Oh yeah, tell us why. What's going on? Okay. You got 30 seconds.
Really, it's really an interesting debate. However you look at it, and I always say, well done. It's not easy to come up and defend anything, and sometimes to really prove your point, you have to really, really prove your point. But I'll say, for me, this is one debate that is fraught with the most inaccuracies I've ever heard in any debate. From the stats that were given to how the argument was constructed. So I don't want to, if I have to go in and start breaking point by point, it's going to take an entire day. But this is what I say. When you're debating facts and stats, it's very important to debate facts and stats. And you do not overshadow facts and stats with things that are not stats. Like saying that they don't play qualifiers, they just show up 2 days. That is not factual, right? And another thing that I needed to mention, both of you kept saying female football is women's football, the same way you didn't say male's football, you said men's football. Female is it the female lion or the female goat? When we say women, you're talking about the human species of women. It's very important to make that distinction, right? But there is the banter for me was very underwhelming in comparison to what I'll say was the opening for both of you. The closing too was another very interesting thing for me. I do not want to go into it, but at the end of the day, well done. More research could have been done. So it feels as if it's very important that even if you're opposing a topic, you respect that topic. There were parts of it that I felt that this was not a very respectful debate to the topic. Research was not done. A lot of things were not given. Stats were not given. The facts were not accurate. Things that were being said were more emotional than fact. Because if you're going to go back and check the stats of the last World Cups, they sold out stadium, everything, match after match after match, records were set. So are you saying this from a place of I've done my research and it's a fact? Are you saying this thing because it's not a fact? Let me just say it as long as I'm saying it. So for me, that was very important in this debate, and I missed that a lot. Because I can say one point that Ben made that really stood out for me was a matter of prestige, because the World Cup is the top stage. If you are bringing a lot of people, like, well, are we having the best of the best? Are we just having anybody show up? That was very important. But outside that, I struggled to find things that I would say, okay, yes, this is factual. This is an important point. If I'm in a decision-making committee, I would really seriously take this into consideration. So that's very important. Respect the topic of your debate. Say things that are factual. And the banter, like I said, for me was very underwhelming. Both of you could have done better with the plethora of topics and points and everything out there. We have data now, unlike 10 years ago. There are a lot of things that are easily available. You just need to Google it. and you guys didn't do as much as you could have done.
Queen Lizzie, thank God. Finally it ends.
I did not even say
I know. I knew the moment Ben started, I knew this guy don't find trouble. We go die here today.
It's very important though. Let's make that.
But I also agree.
Yeah, it's not about looking for trouble, because some of the things you were saying were mad. Like you really are going to say that on radio.
I agree. Some of the things were cringe worthy, to be honest. George Olisa, how are you doing?
Very well.
Yeah, now.
Yes. Well done, guys. Good debates. Good debates. We both know you both can do better. I feel you both can really do better. I enjoyed the first round. I think you made your cases in the first round. The banter, well, you tried to spar. The punches were not landing for me, but at least you both were spirited. And in terms of the closing, we both know. I'll go again. We both know you can do better. It was an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic that I feel a lot of people will listen to. Imagine if Gianni Infantino, is that the FIFA president, were to have to listen to this debate. You know. So land your punches, land your points. Well done once again. Well done.
Thank you very much. Can I have your score, Olisa? Okay. Gracias muchas. So this is how the judges, I have a minute to go through the scoring. So the judges go this way. Hang on a second. I just committed a blunder, so let me correct it. All right. It is done now. Good. So here's the scoring. In half a minute. George Chuma scores this a draw, a tie between them. It's 10-10, 10-10 on all rounds. George Olisa judges it 10-10 in the first round, 10-8 for Ben in the second round, and 10-8 for Ben in the third round. So, meaning I have to do another calculation. This is going to get interesting. We'll take a break. When we come back, you will get the final result.
Your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
The winner of the Hares Insurance SA Championship is...
Dear parents and school principals, your child could be our next winner. Application is now open for the 2025 Hares Insurance SA Championship with 10.5 million naira worth of prizes to be won. To participate, students in JSS 1 to JSS 3 are required to write a 500-word essay on the topic, the role of insurance in keeping families safe and secure, and submit the essay on our website. Teachers are not left out too. You could win up to 1.5 million naira cash prize in a special teachers category. For more details, visit www.hairsinsurancegroup.com/essay. That is HEIRS. Application closes July 8, 2025. Brought to you by Hares Insurance Group.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so. It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira.
Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 #3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same, whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 #3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Success is like an aeroplane. You only see the graceful flight high up in the sky, but not the roaring, powerful engines propelling it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done, funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as ValueCard, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com. Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Malaria go away. Charlatan knocks you away. 3 days is all it takes.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemisa and lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Charlatan is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought.
This is Nigeria Info.
If you say no weapon fashion against we shall prosper, what about the way we are fashion against ourselves?
Campaign is over. I still wonder why we keep hearing they are coming. We are about to do this and
that. The devil wants us to say that God is not good. The crisis we are in now is economic persecution.
In fact, recording it and putting it on the social media is very good for him. It's a good evidence for him.
We've got to bring the green back into our nation. There's a reason why Nigeria's flag is green.
99.3. Your station for talk. Let's talk.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the Gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with Gloriana and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Hi guys, I am Victor Simeon. Keep listening to Femi and the Gang on Nigeria Info. Peace.
We return. No time to waste, so let's get back to it. Before we went on that break, I was going through the score lines, the results. As I told you, Judge Chuma had adjudged that contest to be a draw, 10-10, 10-10, 10-10 for a total of 30. 30. I then went to judge Olisa's scorecard. Olisa scored the first round 10-9 for Ben. 10-9 for Ben. He scored the second round 10-10. And he scored the third round 10-8 for Ben. At this point, it is MIChex 57 and Ben 60. 3-point gap for Ben. We now come to the final scorecard. Queen Lizzie's scorecard. Queen Lizzie scores this battle 10-7, 10-7, 10-7. For your winner by split decision, Lagos. Congratulations. 87 to 81 points for the victor. MIChex. MIChex, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are you surprised?
I wasn't expecting that actually.
I saw your body language.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
You were not expecting it?
Yes, truly.
Okay, after two judges' scorecard, I mean, it also tells you that was a close contest. Yeah. It was a contest of contrasting fortunes. On the one hand, two of the judges couldn't choose between the two of you. One, on the other hand, did her lowest scoring in this contest so far. I've not seen Queen Lizzie give anybody 10-7, 7-7-7-7 in a round. So that's a total of 30 to 21. So, Ben, that was the thing. Again, and I can understand where that is coming from because we're talking women's football here. You understand? If I was you, I know we have all these arguments that we do. Guys like to do all these arguments. If they play better, maybe the more what? Who's going to? Where would the money come from? You want to be collecting the money from men's football and putting it in the. We have all these things that we talk about in. But you see, when you come on radio and you want to debate and you want to, in a world where you want to preach equality, and I say this because I differentiate between equality and equity. You know, I always make a note to differentiate between equality and equity. But even then, because when you have the microphone, it's a powerful tool. Every time you open the mic and you say something over the mic, you are potentially reaching out to thousands, millions of people. So when you open your mouth, it should sound like you have the tongue of the taught ones, you know. And remember too, you are inspiring people, and these debates will continue and all of that. And I'm happy when you take different positions, but you have to couch it. I think, Ben, you didn't couch what you said enough. It was feisty, but some could argue. For instance, Queen Lizzie alluded to when you said the women don't have qualifiers. And I know what you mean. I understand what you mean, that they don't do qualifiers. But you see, that contest, what you mean is that they qualify from the African Championship automatically and go. Remember, they come into the African Championship and the best from the African Championship go to represent. Yes, they don't have they usually don't do too much of first leg, second leg, but in some instances they actually do.
Like the Olympic qualifiers.
They actually do. Do you understand? So that was patently false. You did not intend to falsify the record, but I just felt like this organo researched this thing well. Queen Lizzie, no, off your mic.
It's not House of Assembly.
Oh yeah, no.
No, but I want to say this, and I say this in all professionalism as somebody that is very passionate about football, whether men's or women's football.
Yeah.
And it's very important when we're having this conversation, while my main point was about being factual. Most times when we come here to debate, I've said this before, that sometimes you might not be able to win your opponent on points, right? You dance around it. You win that, we begin to dance around it. Because when we talk about sports, when we talk about football, it's a very emotional thing. As much as we talk about the facts and data, you see that in people that is in this camp versus that camp, and all of these things. But my main issue, which I really want us, because I don't want it to seem as if I voted the way I did because I was emotional about the topic. Ben's side is a side I would take. As somebody that loves and supports women's football, I will take and I will argue it convincingly. I remember saying that when you talked about diluting prestige, that was a very good point. Because at the end of the day, the World Cup, we are not talking about developmental football. We're not talking about league and the rest of them. The World Cup is the pinnacle. Arguably, except for the Champions League final, is the pinnacle of football all over the world, globally, right from 1950 when it started. So when you have that conversation and you say, yes, you do not want to bring, in the terms of scoreline, right? The Thailand that you mentioned was how many World Cups ago? You made no reference from the last World Cup. That was the only team that you mentioned in terms of the disparity of scorelines. When you talked about nobody comes to watch, it's always empty stadiums. It's factually incorrect. There's a way to play around and dance around those things. And you might say the issue is that a way to go around that topic. If I'm going to make that point, I'll say you only see full stadiums when the big team plays. If the big teams are not there, the smaller teams are not able to pull such crowd. And for a game that requires crowd and revenue and money, you want to keep it where the money is while you're developing the other aspects of it. That's a point I will get around. But the fact is that, like I said, in your closing argument, it's very important that you're respectful in some of the things you were saying, mentioning women's breast as a fault. They don't have energy, they don't have strength. Why you can argue with that and say comparatively it's not the same thing, but how do you make that point in a way that does not put the other person down?
Offensive, okay.
And I'm not saying this saying, oh, you have to diplomatic. It's not about being diplomatic. Everybody knows the truth and make it. It's not about couching it. You can argue for something, you can argue against something, you don't have to support it to be respectful of that idea. And for me, that was the main flaw in your argument, that Ben that came and did, that MIChex that came and did not do very much was able to score more of the points from my angle. Like I said, the banter was abysmal. You guys did not banter anything. For me, that is the point. When you want to debate a topic, you go both sides. You debate for, you debate against, and you look at it factually. We're debating fact, we're debating stats. In women's football, a lot of work has been done to get it to the point where revenues are coming. Recently, one of the richest women in the world, Kang, just bought the Olympic Lions women's team. And you can make the argument for the fact that why are people not investing in women's team? There's so many things you can do around this.
And now she's threatening to change their name or something.
She changed the name when they bought it, and it's the fact that you don't buy a historical team like that, the team that has won all of the champions, most of the women Champions League. So they're all of this.
They are going to stone her in France if she's not careful.
Look at what is going on. The Women's World Cup 2027. A lot of buzz is going on. Investment, revenue, all of these things are happening. I don't expect you to come and give us the up-to-date analysis. What I want you to do is do your research, and whether you support an idea or not, give us a run for our money. And you didn't do that. You were arguing on points that could have flown 20 years ago, but not in the Lord's year of 2025.
All right. Okay. Points taken. Ben? Points taken.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. Points taken.
All right. Lagos. So, in the end, MIChex defeats Ben. And what a battle. It was a battle where these two men gave us a true tug of thought. One steeped in some measure of insight, some conviction, some contrast. Ben came with some argument, some balance, some method. But tonight, MIChex came armed with momentum. He had bite, having lost his first contest, and with a kind of persuasive power that just refused to be denied. He did enough, even though more could have been done. Valiant effort on the part of Ben. His journey may not yet be over, but this round belongs to MIChex. You advance. Congratulations. Pick a topic for your next battle. Ben now joins the pool of hopefuls who must await the people's voice. One lifeline left, and it's in your hands, people. Go to fikets.com, fikets.com/fan battle, and vote for Ben if you think he did enough and you want him back. All right? Now, MIChex.
Yes, sir.
You've seen the topic of your next battle, right?
Yes.
What you don't know right now is the position you will take.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So, you've given me those two pieces of paper. I've split them. And one is the proposition, the other is the opposition. Which one do you want? You take my right hand.
Yes, sir.
And what does it read?
Over-reliance?
No, just tell me. Are you proposing or opposing?
I'm proposing.
You are the proposer. Yes, you're right. It's over-reliance on academies is killing street-style football. Over-reliance on academies is killing street-style football. So you will be proposing. You see, opposition man. Good. So your opponent will be opposed. Your opponent will come from last night. Okay, we will know at the end, depending on how you place. Okay, you can keep that. Not a problem. I just need to make a mental note of this. All right, we'll take another short break. When we come back, it will be battle number 2 for the night. Peter up against Ghana. Stick around. We'll be back.
Ladies! 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.